What did you get usually? What do you go for massages? Is it a good place here?
I go to this chiropractor's office over there. I think they charge they have student massages like $35 for 50 minutes.
$35 for
Yeah.
50 minutes? That's very cheap.
Exactly.
What? Is that a good massage?
Well, they're not sexually servicing you if that's what you're thinking, but no.
They're not what?
It's no. Because a lot of massages, they think Oriental massage or something, and it's got a bit, sort of a...
No, I was just thinking, as in, like, is it good massage, generally? Like, do they massage well?
They know how to do Swedish massage.
Yes, Swedish massage. That's what
So they need your body, need your back, need your muscles, you know, and give you a full body massage.
Well, maybe you should give me a contact. I was just looking for... Is it close by? Can I walk there?
Why, you don't have a car?
No, Jen doesn't give me her car. She says I have to be on insurance.
Oh, okay. Well, why don't we make a date at the massage place? It's a chiropractor's office, and you can get one room, and I'll get a different room, and I'll pick you up, and we'll go together.
You want to go together?
Go have lunch.
Okay.
How's that for an offer?
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to pick a date for that, though.
Okay. What date is good for you? Because I got to make the... it shouldn't be hard as long as we're booking in advance, a couple days.
Shouldn't be. We'll figure it out.
Maybe Friday?
Friday is usually, like, go out. I think during the weekdays.
Yeah, this is during the...
Like, Tuesday, maybe Wednesday is best?
Well, tomorrow's already Wednesday.
It is already Wednesday. It's going to be a short notice, huh? I do really need a massage. It's been a while.
Okay, here, we'll start with this. I need to get your telephone number.
Oh, yeah, I should probably do it afterwards, because I'm streaming right now, so that people don't start calling me.
You don't want to be giving me your phone number.
Yeah, not here. I don't want them to start messaging me.
You don't want to give me your phone number to... All these boys will be calling you.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for that. But
yeah. Our company's called Heal Your World. And we're going to give you the information you can heal yourself.
You already have a company?
Yes.
Heal Your World.
Heal Your World Foundation. I have beautiful cards. You'll love them.
Okay, where can we find more information? You got social media, website?
Yeah, healyourworld.com.
Ooh, you got a nice website right there. Heal Your World. That's hard to get.
I think it's healyourworldfoundation.com, actually, because we're a foundation.
Okay, Chad, double check. Which one is it? Foundation or no foundation?
healyourworldfoundation.com.
Yes.
And you'll be impressed by the website. It tells you a lot. And we're going to be holding seminars on how to have a healthy old age. In other words, we'll add an extra 10 to 15 years onto your life, and you won't get Alzheimer. You won't get cancer. You won't die of heart. All these normal things everybody has, pains and everything.
Do you have any health issues?
It's called lifestyle change. You got to change your lifestyle. You want to be healthy. You got to eat right, and you got to do things. You got to live. You got to walk. You got to breathe. You got to get out in the sun.
Makes sense. Are you healthy, or do you have any health issues? You're very much in age. You must have something, right?
Let me tell you my story.
Bad knee or something?
This is a great story.
All right.
Okay. The story is this. For the last 30 years until this year, I had diabetes. I was taking metformin and 3 or 4 other diseases.
Oh, metformin. Did that help?
Well, it kept my blood sugar somewhat under control, but I got heart disease as well. I had high cholesterol. I had high blood pressure. I had all the normal diseases of old age, just like everybody else. Well, I was 250 pounds. I have pictures before and after, and I'm visibly fat in the before. The second one's I'm I'm thin now. I lost 50 pounds. My A1C, which is what they test for your blood sugar, was around 8, when ideally it should be around 6.
Okay.
And after I went on this diet, it went.
Thank you for the help, Your Eminence. Maybe what I need is a hearing aid or less hellfire.
Okay. Thank you for the 2. They have like text to speech. If they don't have money, there is a system that reads it out loud. So there's a guy.
How do we get one of those?
Oh, I mean, you want to incorporate this in your website?
Huh?
You want to incorporate this in your website too?
Yeah, why not?
Well, it's mainly a feature on Twitch through a third party, but I'm sure if you really want it, that can be incorporated too.
I need to do that. I need to talk to Matthew in there on how to do that.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure Matthew can help you. So you were saying that you had diabetes, you had high blood sugar, and then you were able to fix that.
I took after 90 days on a special diet and exercising every day, which was walking 2 miles basically, and putting a lot more fiber in my diet.
Fiber as in green veggies? General veggies?
Most of my diet was green, but you also need protein. You live on protein. You need balance. You need balance, a healthy balance. And the problem is, with all the foods that we buy at fast food places or in restaurants or any of the ones you see advertised on television are not healthy for you.
Yeah, I was trying to go to farmer's market today, but Lilo didn't have the time to take me, unfortunately. Farmer's market, a way to go, because even those grocery stores not good enough.
There's a farmer's market tomorrow. You
Where?
want to go with me? It's by my house over there in Northridge. It's at Tampa and Nordhoff in that shopping center.
How far is it? Driving minutes?
Well, it's 15 minutes maybe.
That's not bad. You go there often?
Oh, well, I live over there.
Okay.
I live here, but that's where my shop is.
Is it a good
That's
one?
where my other house is. I have a big house. I got 15 guys living there.
It's a lot of guys.
Yeah.
So is it a good...
It's a sober living house.
I'm trying to figure out if it's a good farm. Adaptable. The sanctions didn't hit them nearly as hard as the world expected. They're kind of chilling.
I think the Russian people totally bought the Russian propaganda. That's what I think happened. Just like our citizens bought our propaganda. You know, it's really sad that people aren't exposed to the truth on any of these countries because they tell you what they want you to hear. And that's the truth.
How do we get them to see?
Huh?
How do we get them to see that this is just madness and they need to calm down and put their weapons down and start negotiating? Friendly negotiating. How do we do that?
Well, I think that you need to somehow get to Putin and
It's gonna be tough.
not necessarily just to get his ear, and it's probably going to have to go through this guy in Turkey, unfortunately.
Which guy?
I think his name is Erdogan or something like that. He's president of Turkey, but he's in NATO as well. But he's an ally of Russia. Because they're buying their weaponry now from Russia, they're buying different stuff for Russia, so they're doing business together.
How do you know that?
It's common knowledge.
I didn't know that.
Well, so what? You only heard their propaganda.
What are you reading? Is it like a source that you're reading or listening to? It's definitely not TV. Otherwise, you wouldn't be talking this way.
I read the newspapers every day.
You get this from newspapers?
And I even get it from the Commie Rag right here at the LA Times. They print all kinds of articles.
You trust them with information?
I think you got to question any information you get from any source.
That's true. You need to understand their motives, their interests.
Yeah, because it's all tied to money. If you go right down deep inside, they're all worshiping money. They gave up worshiping God a long time ago.
Do you believe in God?
Yeah, absolutely.
What is God?
You are absolutely, look at you. Here's a perfect example. You are gorgeous, beautiful, gorgeous creature that there's nothing like you ever. Any beautiful woman, any beautiful man, even ugly men are still perfect in so many different ways. Our bodies were built by a creator with some intelligence that makes them self-healing. We don't need people, we need, like if you have trauma and they cut your arm, yeah, we can have a doctor sew it up, or they break your arm or your leg or something, or crack your head. They're good at that. They do a pretty good job. But all this artificial chemicals that keep people sick for a long time, that's terrible. And we need to heal people, not kill people.
How do we heal them? With God?
We have innate bioenergy inside of us, put there by our Creator to begin with. God is inside of each one of you. He's inside of you whether you accept Him or not. He doesn't really care if you accept Him. He's not judgmental.
But what does He look like?
He looks like everything. The whole sum total of the whole universe as we know it, or you've ever seen it, is all part of God. Every bit of, every molecule, every particle of anything, every creature, every bacteria, every fungi, every animal, every bird, every insect, every creature from another planet, all these planets, the clouds, the air, everything we breathe is God, and we're just part of it.
So you're talking about atoms.
I'm talking about the whole sum energy, time, space, continuum, everything is all part of God. You can't get away from Him. He's here. He's with us. He's inside of you.
Inside of you too.
That's right. Absolutely. He's inside of all of us. So man is not inherently good or evil. These are bad habits and bad decisions we make along the way. So He gave us the power to think for ourselves. A lot of us don't use it very well.
How do you feel about religion and how God is perceived in religion?
Well, I don't care whether I was raised a Catholic as a little boy. I later became Christian. I've attended services in Hindu religions and Jewish religions, Muslim religions, all kinds of different ones I've been exposed to. Mormons. It's very interesting. I've been to weddings, and you know, interestingly enough, if you look back at the three big religions that seem to be having all the turmoil in the world, all believe in the same one God. They call Him different names, but it's actually the same Creator, God, which is, first this started out with Abraham. And from Abraham descended the Jewish religion. And out of the house of David, the Jewish religion, came Jesus, and you started the Christian religion. Mm-hmm. Okay? After that, from Abraham's very loins, he was with his handmaiden there because his wife was barren, and he had a child with this woman. And after the wife, at 60-some years old, they thought was barren, she became pregnant and gave him a son. She insisted, she sent the other woman away. Guess that whole family that was sent away became the birthplace of the Muslim religion. So he was the father of all three religions.
What about Buddhism and Hindu?
Well, that's interesting as well, because they all believe in gods and creators and things like that. The Romans had a whole bunch of gods. The Greeks had the same gods, but called them different names. before them, the Babylonians had multiple gods. It's very common. Man is always looking for a reason or something to believe in. He needs to start believing in himself because he has everything it takes to be perfect.
Yes, don't you think that people mainly turn to religion when they're feeling weak, when they feel like they need help?
Well, I think they all think that way, but the real truth is he's with you all the time, so all you got to do is ask him. You know, we all can have a conversation with God. Just look inside, do a little meditation. Do some psychedelics like psilocybin or ayahuasca.
When was the last time you've done any?
Years ago, I did some psilocybin. And it was quite an interesting trip that whole day. I sat through Little Big Man, that was a movie, twice. I liked it so much. I spent 2 hours out in the parking lot watching a spider build a web.
Interesting.
You know, it just slows down all life. You know, it's a whole different trip.
Did you have any big realizations about life during it?
No, not really that day. I just had a pretty good time. I went over to this girl's house, and I see these people are heroin addicts. I didn't realize they're offering me heroin, and I said I wasn't interested, and I left, you know, because they wanted to shoot me up. I said, boy, I got enough problems without this one.
Okay. Yeah, it's a different neighborhood.
Yeah, it was in Hawaii.
Oh, why? Oh, wow, okay. Yeah.
That was around 1970.
And what year were you born?
47?
47. Oh, that was the time of the war, the Second World War.
No, the war just ended. They all came back.
Oh, yeah,
from the
45
war.
is when they ended. Yeah.
And within a year after the war, I guess, my father met my mother, and next thing they're doing is getting married and having a little brat named Richard.
Why are you calling yourself a brat?
Well, when you're small, you are little brats, or you're rugrat, or there's a whole bunch of different names you can call little kids.
Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, I have two beautiful little boys. I have, you know, for a 76-year-old man, I got one boy that's 4 and one boy that's 6.
Oh, you mentioned you also had a Russian wife. Do you have it?
Yes, I have a Russian wife from Kazakhstan, from Almaty.
What's her name?
Tina.
Tina. Where does she live now?
She lives in West Hills out here.
How did you guys meet?
I met her on Craigslist.
Oh, I didn't know people meet there.
Well, they had a dating app there or something. And
on Craigslist? That was a while ago, huh?
Board, and you advertise yourself, tell what you are.
No, I know what it is. It's just nowadays people use completely different apps. But I remember that was a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I met her, let's see.
I bought a bike there once on Craigslist.
16 years ago?
Yeah, that's a while.
Yeah, I met her 16 years ago. And she's a doctor.
What kind of doctor?
Nurse practitioner.
You guys
so she prescribes drugs, and she can evaluate patients and tell them what's wrong with them and what kind of drugs they need to take.
Is she Russian, or she was born and raised here?
No, she was born over and raised over there. She came over here about in her late 20s.
Did you feel the cultural difference with her?
What do you mean by feel the cultural difference?
Because when you're born and raised in a different country, you can tell that there's so many differences between people.
Well, I've had foreign wives before, so I had an Iranian one was the first one, and I had a couple Chinese ones after that, and they all have.
How many wives did you have?
Hard ways. I've had 4.
4 wives. That's a good amount.
Yeah, it's good enough. And I'm probably going to have another one before long.
Okay. So what were you saying? Sorry, I interrupted you with a question.
uh,
That they all had something in common? You were saying?
yeah, they had problems with their English. They couldn't say words right.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't form sentences properly.
It takes a while, to practice.
And by being with me and me correcting them on a regular basis, they all became pretty good English speakers because they had a coach.
Yeah, makes sense.
Okay, so I noticed that, and I noticed differences in the foods because if, someone from Iran is going to cook Iranian food, and people from China are going to cook Chinese food, and people from Russia are going to make borscht and things from Russia.
How come you never had an American wife?
I did have an American wife.
Okay, just sprinkle it in there.
I think I was 20 years old, and I married a girl. She worked in the data processing department at the bank or something like that. And we were married for 90 days.
Okay, that was enough for you, huh?
Well, that was enough for her. Me, I was still willing to play, but she didn't want to play anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that wasn't meant to be.
That was your first one?
That was the first one.
90-day express.
Yeah. And then I didn't get married. But I've lived with probably twice as many as that.
Met?
No, lived with.
Oh, lived with. Yeah, I think just back in the days, people didn't quite live together as, I don't know, I'm just assuming. They probably would get married more so than just be in relationships. Nowadays, people don't even indulge in relationships. They just come and go, come and go. Have a good time, and then the next one.
I'm still on speaking terms with all these women that I was married to. Is I got nothing against them, and they got nothing against me. They all made out like bandits on me. I'd say they walked away with about $250,000 apiece, so they did fine.
Oh, you didn't have the marriage contract?
I did with this last one.
You learned?
Yeah.
The last one, okay.
But it still cost me easily that, and then it's going to cost me more with all these kids.
Yeah, so just maybe don't get married.
Why? I like kids. What's wrong with having kids?
I feel like you don't have to get married to have kids.
Speaking of kids, do you want to have kids?
At some point, I probably will, yes.
Well, you got a narrow window, but usually got to have it by 40.
I think I still have some time, and I can always work around. There are different ways nowadays. You can freeze your eggs. You can put it literally in a refrigerator. You're good.
That's actually not a bad plan, because they would be truly your children anyway. With it, you just delayed it.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about my window. Okay. I'm more worried about finding. Not even worried, but I think that's...
find the right man to be with?
Exactly. Somebody I want to have children with.
Well, get one that's intelligent, that looks good. That's probably a good start. And if it doesn't work out, kick him down the road,
You'll be surprised. Even those two qualities, they're not that easy to find nowadays.
What, intelligence and good looks?
Yeah. Like, you think it should be like a given, but it's not easy. Not nowadays. Men are changing.
Yeah, they're becoming effeminate. They got too much estrogen.
Yeah, I feel like I have more testosterone than most men nowadays.
You have more testosterone than most men.
I have a lot.
Yeah, I could tell.
How so?
Well, because your muscle is... there's a different hormone that's in between. It's not estrogen, it's not testosterone. I think it's called androgen, if I'm not mistaken. And it makes your muscles firm and tight and stuff like that. So obviously have a good diet, and you don't have cellulite. A lot of women help. Even young ones have cellulite nowadays.
I have it.
You do?
Yes.
So you're not perfect? I thought you were perfect.
Aw. Were you gonna marry me?
I'll marry you. You gonna sign the prenuptial agreement?
All right. Let's start with the massage thing.
Okay.
Let's take it easy.
Okay. All right.
But I have cellulitis, so just letting you know.
We can get rid of that.
How?
Well, first of all, my partner is a natural healer. He doesn't have to touch you.
He looks at me,
won't-
I get rid of cellulitis.
That's right. Basically, pretty close. What he does, let me explain what he does.
Okay.
And this is actually a patented healing process that's been approved by the United Nations Institute of Health.
Hmm.
He wrote a paper on this and proved that it actually works.
Please do tell more.
How about, do you know what remote viewing is? You never heard of it? The Russians developed this. Remote viewing is, you're sitting here in your pool, and you just meditate, and let's say you want to know where Putin is. And you psychically can go through the area, not knowing where he is, and find him and describe where he's at and what he's talking about at that very moment. That's what remote viewing is. And believe it or not, they have people that can do this.
So it's like astral projection.
Absolutely. But
That
you're
makes
not
sense.
necessarily your spirit or your brain or what. Your brain's still in your body. That's just think about your brain. What is your brain? It's like a hard drive. It just collects all the information, and it can process it instantly. So you can recall it instantly. You can recall. Your eyes are like cameras, and they're restoring it to the hard drive back here. So everything you see, if you really wanted to think about it, they could go back and pick that up, like stones in the molding on the pool,
I
the
see
molding
point.
on the house, all this stuff. It's a picture.
There's mold in the house?
Yeah, mold.
I didn't notice that.
Molding. This is called a molding.
Oh, I thought it was actual mold.
It's a
I was
wall,
gonna say
not
it's
mold.
a new house. So.
No. There's mold everywhere. There's spores of mold in the air. There's spores of mold on the building.
Mm-hmm.
There's spores of mold. We can't get away from fungi. It's
So how do
everywhere.
we get rid of my cellulitis?
We set you up with appointment with Roland, and he'll tell you you may need. He won't touch you. He's not going to massage you or do anything like that. He will tell you what nutrients and stuff you're missing, and how to get them into your skin and stuff, so it eliminates the cellulitis. Is it painful?
What is?
Your cellulitis, or do you notice that you have it?
No, it's just some fat on my thighs.
Well, some of that could be a certain type of stretch or exercise could also help you there.
I do exercise, but it's a little different. I think I just need to become very skinny for that, but I don't want to.
Why would you want to be skinny?
No, I
think
don't.
you're
That's what I'm
perfect
saying.
the
That's my
way you
fat.
are.
I kind of want that fat, but it looks... Honestly, it doesn't bother me. I don't care that I have cellulitis. But like some people go like, ew, I'm like, fuck off. I like it.
Well, you are what you are. Who cares? You know, you can't pick and choose. It's like, oh, I'm going to go to the smorgasbord. Okay, I want a little of this. I want a little of this, a little of this.
That's what people do nowadays. They just construct themselves.
Pretty soon, we're going to have androids that you can pick the blonde, the blue-eyed. She could be Asian. She could be black. She could be anything you want.
I'm looking forward to that. I can't wait to have my own male android.
Can I apply for the job, honey?
I want it to be a robot.
Yeah, you just.
It's
want
gonna
him
be
to
so
do
much
what
easier.
He wants you to do what you want him to do, not what he wants you to do.
Exactly. I think this is where we all head in. Like, we all gonna be so self-sufficient with everything being available online, and like, just we're not gonna even leave our houses anymore.
We are in this longevity program that we're teaching. The name course is called Selfish, which is an acronym. Each letter stands for a different meaning, like S-E-L-F-I-S-H.
What does it stand for?
Okay, you want me to...
Just briefly, yeah.
Okay. The S starts with spiritual, because we aren't just a body here. Our spirit, our soul, or whatever you want to call it, actually lives forever.
How do you picture spirit?
You can't see it. It's just part of...
Is it God?
It's part of God, and it's part of energy. You're a specific, like, energy, and your memories actually go from one life to the next life. Because you could inhabit a newborn coming into the world and be born again. I believe in reincarnation.
I was about to say.
In fact, they've actually hypnotized people and talked to them about then they went and checked, and they can actually speak a different language that they can't speak, but under hypnosis they can speak, let's say, Russian. Okay?
You believe in hypnosis?
Yes. Actually, that's going to be part of we're starting new drug rehabs. And what the drug rehabs we have in this country don't work. They're revolving doors. It's a waste almost going there, but it slows them down temporarily to where they don't kill themselves and they get productive for a while until they relapse. And it's just like one relapse, another go back to the rehab, another relapse, go back to the rehab. It's just a continuous cycle. They have this 12-step program. They're all using it. We're going to take some of the steps and use them. However, we're developing new steps that nobody else has, and one of them is hypnosis. One of them is total lifestyle change. Another one is your food. Anyway, to make it real brief and simple, I'll explain the words real. Spiritual, I told you about our spirit. The next one, E, exercise. You need to move. You need to breathe. You can't just be sedimentary. You can't be on the phone all the time watching TikToks or Instagram or whatever your social media program you're into. It's like people are hypnotized by these things.
Do you use any of those social media?
I'm going to start using them now because I need to advertise what we're doing. And it's actually probably the best form of advertising to get your name out and to let people know you're here.
It really is nowadays.
Then the L is what you're lacking. Love. You need love.
What kind of love?
First of all, you need to start loving yourself more than you do. Number one, you're the center of the universe for you. Every one of us is the center of our own universe for us. So we have to forgive ourselves and we have to love ourselves. That becomes number one. And you have to find other people to love. Well, I don't care if it's a parent or a child or a lover.
Are you talking about care? Is love like care? Like you take care of yourself, then you take care of others? What is love?
Well, I think that has a lot to do with the caring. It's all a whole sense of caring. You have to care about yourself. You have to care about, it's kind of love when you first fall in love the first time. It's different. And this love creates a hormone in our body called oxytocin.
Mm-hmm.
It's known as the love hormone. And when you get around a person that you actually love, this hormone is released in both of you, and you feel like on top of the world. It's euphoric.
Is that how you felt around your wives?
Early on, but it wears off after a while.
Why do you think it wears off?
I think that it just changes. I think you have to work at anything in life. If you let things become too mundane and too common and stuff, you got to put a little excitement and energy into a relationship like that.
So you didn't, and you just decided to change your wife?
No, there's a whole bunch of different stories here, but I somehow attracted very needy women.
Mm.
And somehow, once they get their hooks into you, they don't want to let you go.
Hooks.
Yeah, I mean, like, they want to control you.
Uh-huh. Why do
They
you think
want
they
to
try
tell
and
you
do
they
it?
don't like your friends. They don't want you to go out with your friends. They don't want you to bring your friends to the house.
But they don't
They're
say that right
jealous.
away.
Huh?
They don't do that right away.
Of course not. They got to put the ring through your nose before they do allow you.
You mean the ring on your finger?
It's really the ring through your nose because that's the one they want to pull
Like
and
a
make
bull?
you go their way.
Okay.
Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
I think so.
Metaphorically speaking.
Yeah, like they're too controlling.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's continue on with the selfish.
All right. Sure.
Okay. F.
F.
Food. We are what we eat.
I like that saying actually. Yeah. So I keep saying to Chad, you gotta be very selective what you eat.
You need organic things. You don't need things that have chemicals on it or that were grown with chemicals.
Did you
Guess
find?
what? If you put chemicals, there's over 70,000 different chemicals, and they only studied a couple hundred of them. We don't know what all these chemicals can do to us, but I think they're ruining us, or they're getting into our food supply. They're getting into our brains. They're getting into our bodies. It's in the air. It's that we breathe. There's all these toxins everywhere.
Too
If
much.
nothing else, these things, Wi-Fi,
5G towers.
5G, all this stuff.
The vaccines. Have you heard all of those theories? How vaccines had a chip in it?
Well, they don't have a chip in it, but they got something much worse.
Which
They're
is?
saying that all these people that are dying suddenly are all dying from blood clots. And all these people that were dying and perfectly healthy people, young people of all ages and demographics, all races, all religions, non-selective, they took the Pfizer vaccine, and now they're getting blood clots.
Is that what you got, Pfizer?
No, I took the Moderna one.
Me too.
But that one almost killed me. You know,
It was really tough
I
on me
had
too.
COVID, and my wife, being a doctor right away, she said, "Oh, they just came out with the vaccine where you're a senior citizen, where you can get it right away." I said, "I don't need the vaccine. I just had COVID. I got over it. I'm fine. I have antibodies. Why do I need a vaccine?"
Mm-hmm.
No. You got to get it. You got to get it every day for.
She got you into this.
And in 3 weeks after I had COVID, I went down and got the shot. The next day, I ended up in the hospital. My blood pressure went down to 60/30. The guy says that showed up there, he said, "I don't know how you're talking with blood pressure this low." He says, "You're almost dead, you know?" So then I find out from these firemen, because I had them out there twice in 2 weeks.
Fireman.
Yeah, the paramedics that came to my house to take me in the ride in the ambulance or whatever from COVID. Or from the shot in this case, because I didn't go to the hospital with COVID. COVID wasn't that bad. It was like a bad flu.
It's funny. COVID wasn't that bad. Vaccine was the worst.
It's the truth.
It is. But they silenced us. Whenever we try to speak about it, they silenced us.
Yes.
I hate it. People. Okay.
They have international ones from all different countries.
Aren't you worried that they just want your money? They don't like you for you?
I found that out, that you're just another mark. They could care less what you look like. They could care less how old you are. They could care less as long as you're willing to pay. That's all they care about.
But why would you want that?
Well, you know what? In this country, it comes down to all the same thing for most of the women I've met. Most of the women I've met in this country, they don't want to be with some poor guy. They want to be, some guy that has the transparency of being affluent or whatever, a nice house, a nice car. All these things are suitable attributes to attract women.
Here in this country?
Yes, in the United States. If you're good looking, it helps even more. If you're good in bed, I guess that helps even more. Just depends what the woman's looking for. And I don't know if I'm a little, I don't know what the correct word would be. It's like they're not, well, I described it as needy before. Maybe that's just needy. That's it. But it seems like they're mentally ill. And maybe I seem to be a I don't know why they like me.
For mentally ill women?
Yeah. Well, first of all, if they're so insecure that they need to control you, that shows a sign of mental illness.
I would go to church. I would talk to God. I would actually go to places where
When's the last time you talked to God? Seriously.
I don't believe in God.
I know, that's why I could tell.
But I like going to churches because they look beautiful and it's very peaceful there. I like architecture. So if somebody else liked architecture and went to the same place.
There.
Yeah, but just an example, yeah.
And your spirit just lifts up because you can feel his presence there more than anywhere else. Not that he's necessarily more there than anywhere else. It's just he's perceived more there because you actually go in there with the purpose of finding him because you think he lives there.
I think I just don't have that purpose. I'm not looking for anything to guide me or help me, so I don't see it.
Okay.
I'm just there by myself wherever I look.
If you're by yourself because that was a conscious choice that you made. But if you want to invite somebody else in, I'm sure you could find thousands of guys that would all be more than willing to sign up in a minute. But the problem is the quality, it wouldn't necessarily be there on their part. That would be the biggest problem.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel right. But I'm okay with being on my own, honestly. I have a good time doing it. I focus on my goals. I'm just work and life.
Okay. Well, you're a hard worker. I can see that.
Working right now.
Yeah. Well, I gave you some food for thought tonight.
Yeah, actually, thank you. We got more people because I think we're enjoying what you were talking about. Now we have 2,000 people watching.
Oh, they just enjoy looking at you swimming around in the pool.
That's what you think, but I was here swimming before you came in too.
How many people did you have before you were swimming around in the pool?
I mean, I was listening to a podcast, but I think you added about like 500.
Well, that's good. That was about a third.
Yeah.
Increase. That's
so
not bad.
Once you start your podcast, I think you do quite well. You just probably need someone else like Jen or somebody to give you the boost in the beginning because you can't start from scratch. It's going to be hard.
Okay. So why don't I have you on my podcast?
Maybe we can arrange that too. It just depends which platform you're going to use.
We're going to start on some simple ones to begin with.
Such as?
And I was thinking of using, do you like YouTube?
I do like YouTube.
Because mine's informational and we wanted to have a series of stuff because we're going to cover a lot of different stuff. Each one would be total, we'd pick a topic or have a guest that has expertise in that topic and we'd discuss what we were doing with him.
Yeah, I don't really have much going on YouTube. I mainly stream on Twitch. And then we have Instagram, Twitter, TikTok.
Would you like to have another channel on Twitch? Or
Perhaps.
appear on a channel on Twitch?
Perhaps. You should talk to Jen about it. She's been streaming on Twitch for a really long time. She can give you guidance with that too, if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Can you finish the shellfish interpretation?
Oh, okay.
Just this shellfish, selfish.
Okay, we got to the food.
Yes.
And the I is intimacy. Now, intimacy is different than love. Because we talked about love earlier, but intimacy is companionship. Having someone that you can actually have an honest-to-God talk and conversation with that can actually stimulate your brain and maybe even knows more than you do about something that you want to find out about.
Kind of like what we're doing right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Would you say this is intimate?
Yeah, we're intimate in this way.
Okay.
And I'm sure you have girlfriends that you discuss all kinds of things. Or you have some male friends.
Yeah, some males.
That you know, that you can talk to about anything.
I don't know. It's hard for me to be friends with girls.
Well,
They don't like me.
Yeah, because you're too pretty.
Maybe.
Maybe they see you as competition. I don't know.
Maybe. I just don't think I have as much in common with them in terms of talking.
Well, what's funny is you seem to, on one hand, you're Russian and you speak almost perfect English. Were you raised in this country? Where did you grow up at?
I grew up in Moscow, but
How
when I
long
came
have you
here,
been here?
My parents sent me to college here when I was like 17.
Oh, so you were exposed to a lot of Americans.
Yeah, I mean, I left America shortly after I graduated college because I didn't like it as much, so I just traveled around Europe. But I think I just set a goal for myself. Like, I really wanted to learn the language well and understand the culture.
Well, you've done a good job. You could fool most people. You don't even have an accent.
Thank you. Some people would say that I do have it, but...
Well, it's slight, but they couldn't tell you where it was from unless you told them.
That's the plan.
No.
So not telling. So intimacy, what's the last one?
Okay, well, S is next.
Yes, another S.
Sleep. We're all sleep deprived. And the sleep is the most important one of all,
That's
besides
true.
the food, because guess what? When we're sleeping,
We are restoring.
our body is healing and mending itself.
Yes.
It's taking over and doing what it's supposed to do. It's digested your food. It's getting rid of your toxins. It's all an automatic pilot made
And it
by
costs
God.
$0.
And it costs $0. But if you don't get enough, or you don't get enough room sleep, guess what? You're going to be unhealthy. You're going to be sick.
That's true. I would put it as first one.
Okay.
What's the first S?
Spiritual.
Yeah, let's put
Because
sleep first. I think it's more important than spiritual.
No, because you don't believe in God. But
I don't think I have a soul.
You have a soul.
I don't see it.
Yeah,
Chad
of course.
doesn't see
Okay,
it.
let me ask you something. Do you know what Carillion photography is?
No.
Okay. This is a photograph which we see your aura. This is the energy your body's giving off. And it comes off in different colors. And if you look at your hands, and we have a machine, we can put your hands in there, and each finger represents different parts of your body, different organs, okay?
Okay.
So we can tell by this photograph of your energy what's wrong with you, believe it or not. We see, okay, she has the wrong color, not enough energy around her finger, she's got heart problems. And I mean, there's different ones mean different things. But do you get the idea what I'm talking about?
Yeah, shamans can do that in Siberia.
And guess what? My partner can actually do it without the machine. He can look at you and tell you what's wrong with you because he can see your energy. And all he does is move his hands around your energy, around your body. Doesn't have to touch you, just near you. He can feel, and he can actually move your energy to where it needs it and heal you doing that, believe it or not. he can take you out of pain. Let's say you're in pain and you have, oh, this arm's been killing me, or this shoulder, or whatever, your knee, or your hip, or whatever. Not touching you, and take you out of pain just by manipulating your energy.
What is the shamanic level of your partner? What level is he on?
I don't know that he's a shaman or not. He's a professor, and has a lot of published papers, I could tell you that. He's received a lot of international awards all over the world for his healing methods. And
what is his name?
He's healed a lot of people.
What is his name?
His name is Roland Yakubov.
Where is he from?
He's from both Russia and right now the country no longer exists. He's a Syrian, but also he lived in what's the other? Armenia. So he speaks Russian. He speaks 8 different languages. He speaks the original Syrian language, which is a dead language now. He speaks Russian. He speaks English.
You're saying Syria is not a country anymore?
Not anymore.
Really? When did it stop being a country?
Well, you should find it on a map.
I missed, I guess, something. Was it America? Did they do that?
I don't know. He claimed his aunt was also the most famous healer since Rasputin. Her name was Juna. Have you ever heard of Juna? She has in Moscow, she has a whole museum about her healing powers. People were coming from miles around. She healed the Queen. She healed Brezhnev. She healed a lot of famous people.
Which queen? Not the UK
Queen Elizabeth.
She died or something.
I know, but this was before she died, like 20 years ago.
She didn't heal her well enough.
Well, she lived to 90-some years old, and this lady died at, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, so she couldn't have healed her after that.
So your friend can look at me and tell me what color is my spirit?
Yes.
How much will he charge me for that?
Okay. He gets like $2.50 an hour.
Okay. What other things are included in that $2.50 an hour? What is he going to do for an hour?
He's going to change your energy. In other words, if you're in pain, he's going to take your pain away. You're going to feel very rested. You're going to feel his energy as well, because he radiates energy. In fact, he can levitate things. He can take like a soda pop can or a wine bottle. It doesn't really matter, even though it weighs several pounds. Put it like this in his hand. Just hold it like this, and then turn it over like this. It'll just stick to his hand, and it ain't a magic trick.
What if he glued it?
No, there ain't no glue. You can check it. There ain't no glue.
Okay, what if I'm not sick, but I would like a superpower? Can he give it to me for $2.50 an hour?
He has a course. I think he charges $5,000, and he'll teach you how to do what he's doing.
$5,000 and I'll get a superpower? Can I teleport? Can I astral project?
Some of that you can. I don't know about teleporting is different because you're actually moving a physical object as opposed to a spiritual object. It's much easier to do an energy, move and transfer an energy than it is to fit. You know, you have logistics. You've got to pick it up there, decompose it, shoot it over here, and reassemble it. You know, that's a little harder than just send an energy or a spirit.
How come you never wanted to learn those tricks from him?
Well, it ain't a trick. It's almost like you said, a superpower.
Well, how come you never wanted to learn those?
Well, I've only known him for 6 months, and we're trying to. I got a business to run. I'm an old man. I got a lot of stuff, a lot of things to take care of. So I haven't had time to learn all those things, and I'm not even sure why do I need to learn them if he's doing them and he's my partner.
What kind of business do you guys run together?
Heal your hand. Heal your world.
Heal your hand.
No, actually, his company was called Healing Hands because his power is in his hands, you know?
That makes sense. Wait, so he can't heal with any other part of his body? It has to be with the hands?
Well, maybe he does some stuff mentally, but it's mainly he's using his hands to heal. And in fact, our logo is a pair of hands. And it's got a circle and it says Healing Hands. Heal your world.
Heal your world with his hands.
And it has his hands above the whole thing. So it's cool. It's a cool looking logo.
All right, I'll keep it in mind. Rolling.
But I didn't need to learn if you got someone already doing it. In other words, I used to grow marijuana, right? I found out I could buy it cheaper than I could grow it. And they were growing just as good a pot as I was doing. I said, well, why do I need to grow it?
Mm-hmm.
And the police were giving me a hard time, and that sort of discouraged me from growing anymore. I said,
Yeah, okay. But it was all within the rules and regulations. It's all good. Let's move on to the next topic.
I think the problem we have a lot right now, especially in this country, there's rapid mental illness all over this country.
Mental.
Yeah, and it's caused by drug abuse.
Mm.
And it starts with the pharmaceutical companies.
Mm.
They're supplying most of the drugs.
Mm.
And I'm talking these are all legal drugs. They give you a prescription, and guess what? If you weren't mentally ill when you started on many of these, if you try to get off of them, you will go mentally ill.
What do you think is the main, or a couple of the main drugs that should not be supplied anymore?
There are three, or actually there's a whole lot more than that, but I'll give you several categories.
Okay.
The first one is prescribed to 50% of all adults in this country.
Oh, let me guess. Adderall.
No.
Oxys, benzos.
No. Antidepressants.
SRAs? Really?
Everybody's depressed. Half the people are
I
depressed.
feel like
in
no
this
one's
country.
taking that anymore.
23% of the people that are adults in this country suffer from anxiety.
Mm.
Okay.
You see into the mystic of life. Have you ever astral projected?
No.
Would you like to learn how?
Yes.
You should talk to Chanel's dad, or Jasmine's dad. He's got a buddy that apparently does all of that. Only $250, as he was telling me the other day, and he will teach you all. What does that mean?
I don't really believe in that guy.
Why not?
I know.
What if it's true? For $250, oh wait, no. $250, you can just erase your aura. But if you want to learn all the tricks, I think it's like 4 or 5K. It's an investment. You will?
Yeah. I would do it with somebody else.
Why?
I just don't think it's like...
You don't trust Jasmine's dad?
It's not that I don't trust him. I don't trust the friend.
Oh, you met him?
Yeah.
Why don't you trust him?
We'll see. Maybe.
He's gonna come over?
I don't know. He comes over sometimes.
I mean, he told me that he's Russian, though, so a priori, I don't trust him. You know what they say about Russians. You giggle a lot.
I do.
Are you nervous? Or you really find things funny?
No, I'm not nervous, but it's like, I don't know. It's funny. You'll understand when you meet him.
Okay.
It's like, it doesn't feel like a sincere, like an honest person.
Maybe I should meet him.
You shouldn't. You don't feel like.
Why is Jasmine's dad doing business with him then?
We don't understand.
Well, I guess if that makes some money. But still.
coach Phil Jackson. From these examples, and others, we can learn some valuable lessons about the components of the reality grid and how leaders can shape one. The following are 5 key strategies for achieving this, all of which should be put into practice. Keep in mind that if you inherit a culture that is firmly set and dysfunctional, your job is harder and it will take more time. You need to be resolute in the changes you want to effect and have patience, being careful that the culture does not slowly assimilate you. Think of it as war, and the enemy is not individuals but the dysfunctional group dynamic. Instill a collective sense of purpose. That social force that compels people to want to belong and to fit in, you want to capture and channel for a higher purpose. You accomplish this by establishing an ideal. Your group has a definite purpose, a positive mission that unites its members. This could be creating a product that is superior and unique, that makes life easier or brings pleasure, or improving conditions for those in
Are you
need, or solving
streaming
some...
right now?
I am.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm also listening to an audiobook. It's quite interesting. It kind of ties nicely with what we were talking about yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. Just about human nature and how easy it is to manipulate people as a mass, especially if you give them a specific purpose in terms of an enemy to unite versus.
It's all propaganda.
It is all propaganda.
Why can't we all just unite and say, hey, listen, we're about ready to go to Mars, we're going to go start exploring we can't even get along on this planet. Do you think these people out there are going to want us on their planet? And
We're
if
not
they're
there
more
yet.
advanced than we are, they're going to wipe us out.
They should. We're just not there yet.
You know, what was funny, I saw a great cartoon about this very same thing we're talking about. And the one guy said, well, you know, I'm reading here that there's really more advanced, more intelligent civilizations than us out there, and they're watching us right now. And the other guy says, well, I don't know. And he says, well, what do you think these guys are thinking about us right now?
Mm.
And he said, food.
Food.
We're the food.
We're the food. Okay, that makes sense.
Because we're no better than the
The
animals.
animals to us, yeah, I get it.
You know, we're eating the animals. We're like cannibals. You know, and it's a place on earth they eat each other.
I feel like, okay, yeah, maybe the majority of people, but then again, there's some that I feel like propelling, right? There's even a reason why this person that made the cartoon, because he's a step above, he's seeing it like from above. I turned it off. It's like I was about to get out.
It's like a warm bath.
Yeah, sort of. But I've been here for like 4 hours.
Why, you about ready to quit?
I mean, I worked for like 9 hours today. It was a long day for me. How was your day at work?
It was a weird day. What can I say? But, you know, I had breakfast. I played a little on the computer. I took a 2-mile walk in the park. I dealt with some problems, watched some more stuff, learned some more stuff, and I went to go get a massage, and my car, the little battery went out the key fob.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, so I had to go to the dealer and get another battery and have them install it for me so that I could drive my car.
Did they fix it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, nice.
Once you put the battery in, it works fine. You can't get inside the car.
What did you get usually? What do you go for massages? Is it a good place here?
I go to this chiropractor's office over there. I think they charge they have student massages like $35 for 50 minutes.
$35 for
Yeah.
50 minutes? That's very cheap.
Exactly.
What? Is that a good massage?
Well, they're not sexually servicing you if that's what you're thinking, but no.
They're not what?
It's no. Because a lot of massages, they think Oriental massage or something, and it's got a bit sort of a
No, I was just thinking, as in, like, is it good
No,
massage, generally? Like, do they massage well?
They know how to do Swedish massage.
Yes, Swedish
Yeah.
massage. That's what
So
I
they
prefer.
need your body, need your back, need your muscles, you know,
Okay.
and give you a full body massage.
Yeah, maybe you should give me a contact. I was just looking for. Is it close by? Can I walk there? Is it
Why,
too
you don't
far?
have a car?
No, Jen doesn't give me her car. She says I have to be on insurance.
Oh, okay, well, why don't we make a date at the massage place? It's a chiropractor's office, and you can get one room, and I'll get a different room, and I'll pick you up, and we'll go together.
You wanna
Maybe
go
we'll
together?
Go have lunch.
Okay.
How's that for an offer?
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to pick a date for that, though.
Okay, what date is good for you? Because I got to make the. It shouldn't be hard as long as we're booking in advance, a couple days.
Shouldn't be. We'll figure it out. I
Maybe
remember.
Friday.
Fridays usually like go out. I think during the weekdays.
Yeah, this is during the.
Like Tuesday, maybe Wednesday is best.
Well, tomorrow's already Wednesday.
It is already Wednesday. It's gonna be a short notice, huh? I do really need a massage. It's been a while.
Okay, here, we'll start with this. I need to get your telephone number.
Oh yeah, I should probably do it afterwards because I'm streaming right now, so
Okay,
that people
that's a
don't
good
start
point.
calling
You
me.
don't want to be giving me your phone
Yeah,
number
not
right now.
here. I don't want them to start
You don't want to give me your
messaging me.
phone number to all these boys will be calling you.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready for that, but
yeah.
maybe not tonight. But yeah, it was very interesting. Yesterday, you were speaking against United States, at least in terms of what's going on between Russia and Ukraine right now, because the majority of Americans don't think the way that you think. They think that Russia is evil.
Well, I think they're both evil, to tell you the truth.
They are kind of evil, huh?
You know, I think they need to grow up and start acting like we do not need to be the police keeper of the world. That's the first thing.
America,
the idea
yeah.
that the United States should send our soldiers and our resources to other countries to fight their wars for them. There's no reason for us to do that. There's absolutely no reason. If they're endangering our citizens and our people and messing with us, yes, we should defend ourselves. But not to get involved with something. Why were we over there? Was it to give Joe Biden's son, Hunter, an oil contract and put him in the oil business, which he knows nothing about? And pay how many millions of dollars to the Bidens? What for? Why were they doing this? So they had an interest there. They had an interest in China for $1.5 billion that they put. They set up a new trust fund or something and gave Biden's son $1.5 billion. The Chinese did.
You think that's why America is interested in keeping this war by proxy between Russia and Ukraine?
I'm not sure what's going on. The United States telegraphed their weakness when they pulled out of Afghanistan and ran like cowards with their legs tucked behind and left all our billions of dollars worth of equipment there. If they were so interested in helping Ukraine, why did they just take all the equipment that was there and move it all to Ukraine?
Yeah, why didn't
And guess
they?
what? If we would have moved our soldiers into Ukraine, guess what?
What? What would
Russia
happen?
would have never attacked to begin with because they don't want to take us on front. This is a proxy war. Oh, we're only going to deal with this little country here because they've been violating us. They've been raping our women. They've been doing all kinds of stuff. They're a bunch of Nazis. You know, they're propaganda. And then you got propaganda on the other side.
What's the other side?
Our side.
Yeah, but like, what do you think? How does the government present it here?
The government is corrupt. The government is absolutely beyond a point corrupt here. We have lifetime senators and congressmen that have been here forever. There should be term limits. We don't want to give these people that kind of power. They shouldn't have that kind of power. Why are these people workers forever? For example, how come that we can have a president at 78 or 80 years old? Why do we need old men up there that are feeble and aren't thinking right?
Would you like to be a president if you could run for
No,
president?
I would not like to be a president. I'll tell you why. Because I'm 76 years old in a couple weeks, okay? I am probably have more on the ball than either one of those guys as far as where we're at right now. Thinking, remembering, and all
You
this stuff.
definitely
I don't
sound more
need a
coherent.
teleprompter.
That's
You
true.
know, I can talk.
You
and I
sound a
can
lot
think.
more coherent than the president in charge
Exactly,
right now.
exactly. And I want you to help me do a little podcast as well.
We're doing this right now. There are actually 1,548 people watching live.
Really?
You can run for president right now. They can follow you right now.
I know. You know, there's a law in the books right now. This has to do with our judicial system. Our federal judicial system mandatorily retires all judges at age 75. I propose a new law, and basically here's what the new law. If you're in government or a government job at any level, I don't care if it's in a city, a county, a state, the federal, any type of job that you get paid a check for the government
Age
for
limit?
working there, you got to be mandatorily retired. Guess what? You've worked long enough. You did your job. Go enjoy the rest of your life. Are you going to live here and die being a senator, a congressman, or a judge?
So what is the age limit? What do you suggest?
75, just like the law that's already on the books for federal
75.
judges. They don't have to reinvent anything. They came up with that arbitrarily. That's as good as I'm concerned. There is cognitive decline of our older people. It's just nature.
But don't
Every
you think...
year, your body
Yeah,
loses some.
Yeah, that's the point. Don't you think that with all of the science evolving, we humans aging slower and slower with each year, actually?
Not at all. In fact, they just released a new report. This is the first, if you were born today, right now, this is the first generation that will be born with a lower lifespan than the one before.
How so?
Because of lifestyle. Do you realize that 1 out of 1,000 people on this planet committed suicide last year? 1 out of 1,000. Do the math on that.
What is that in comparison to other years?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Okay.
But here it's always going to be lower in other years because every year we seem to get more population on this planet. In the last, since World War I, our population went from 2.5 billion people to almost 8 billion right now.
It's too many people.
Too many people. And that's in like 100 years. 125 years.
Are you vaccinated?
I got vaccinated once, and it like to kill me. I had COVID twice. The COVID wasn't that bad. The vaccine was worse.
That's what I'm saying.
The vaccine, let me tell you some facts that I heard.
All right.
I heard about a new book that came out yesterday.
Do tell, please.
And it's about, they lied about all the people that died. That's the name of the book. And this guy worked for Wall Street. He was doing statistics. And all they do is look at probabilities of if you make this trade, this is going to happen, how much money you're going to make on the average, you know? So he looked at the statistics of one area. How about unexplained deaths? He said if you were going right now this last year, you should have gone long on funeral parlors because they were doing record business. Okay, and you should have gone short on insurance policy, because he said what they looked at, the Fortune 500, when they sign up for their health plans and stuff, get an automatically life insurance policy. It's a term policy given to them as a perk, so that if they die, why they get 50, their family gets $50 or $100,000, and they don't have to pay for that.